Hi guys! So this video is going to be finally my Pokemon card collection video. And I know that I've been promising to do this video for I think well over a year now, and I'm finally able to film it, and I'm very excited, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video. So as you can see, I have just a classic sort of like middle school 3-ring binder here. I got this, I actually put together this and organized these cards. I think the last time I went through and sort of edited how they were arranged, I think I was in like 4th grade, so it's been a while. But it's a pretty even, maybe not even, but it's a good mixture of cards, I think, that are from like 2005 or so, and then also some of the early cards from the late 90s. But yeah, so a lot of the cards are just random cards that I bought when I was really at different points, when I was really obsessed with Pokemon when I was in elementary school, and then some cards that I got when I was like 5 or 6 years old. So, and those are obviously would be worth more, but I know I've seen a lot of people have collections that they've done videos on where they have like every first edition card. My collection is not like that. There's a lot of just random cards in here, but this is it, and I'm super excited to show it to you guys. And the first card that I want to show you is, I keep it tucked underneath right here, and it is I'm not sure if it's first edition or not, to be honest, but if you can tell, feel free to let me know. It won't hurt my feelings either way if you guys tell me it's not, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure. But it is one of the sort of earlier holographic, don't know if it's gonna focus, I apologize for the glare, Charizards. And yeah, I actually bought this at a flea market when I was, I think, 9 years old, and I paid about $25 for it. And it took a lot of convincing at the time to convince my mom that any Pokemon card might be worth $25. But somehow I managed to get through to her on that one. And it's in a few different little sleeves here. But yeah, not sure again if you guys can see it. Oh, there we go. It's definitely one of my favorites. And Charizard, I think, I don't want to say that it's my favorite Pokemon, because I know that that's kind of like everybody's favorite Pokemon, but it is one of my favorites, you know, because the first time I ever played Pokemon, it was, I think it was the just red version, and I picked Charmander as my first starter Pokemon, so it really holds a special place in my heart. So that's one of the reasons that I really, really like that card. So then over here, it's just organized by, at the time I organized my cards by HP. So all of the cards move from the highest HP to the lowest HP, because when I was younger, all of my friends and I we valued the HP number higher than anything else for whatever reason, and so that was what mattered to me more at the time, and that's why it's organized that way. And then I believe that I organized it first by HP and then by the type, and I think that's pretty much how this is organized. So there's just a few EX Pokemon here. I remember when I was really young, this Ampharos EX was like my baby. I always took it to school and would show it off to my classmates. I don't know if it'll focus, but there we go. And I just thought it was a beautiful card. I was super proud of it. I was kind of always flaunting it around like an unbearable little child. And then same goes for my Gardevoir EX. And I also just thought this was such a beautiful card because it is holographic and everything. Yeah, it's just these two cards especially right here are funny for me because, like I said, I just cherished these two cards. So yeah, there's just some different really high HP holographic ones that I have on the first page because, like I said, at the time that was what I valued more. And you'll notice that with, you know, the ones that have the really high HP, there tends to not be any like older cards or first edition cards or anything like that, because it wasn't until I think later really that cards started having such high HP. And I know that at one time when the Charizard first came out, because it has 120 HP, I know that that was the Pokemon card that had the highest HP of any for a while, but then they went crazy and there was like 150 and I think there's like 200 HP cards now, so yeah. And as far as playing the game, I didn't play it that much. I knew how to play it, but it was, and I played it a little bit when I was in elementary school, but for me it was just more about collecting the cards and playing the Nintendo games, so. I also loved these Machamps when I was younger. They were just cards that, you know, I tended to like more than others for various reasons, I guess. This was one that I was really proud of. This is my Dragonite. Sorry if I have to hold it up for a while to the camera because it's taking a little bit of a while to focus. But it'll do it. There we go. I love Dragonite so much. It's absolutely one of my favorite Pokemon. When I had Pokemon Fire Red, I found a Dratini. I found a Dratini in the Safari Zone. And I trained it, and I was so happy to have found it because it was such a rare Pokemon. And I trained it to become a Dragonite, and I used it to beat the Elite Four and everything. And I ended up training it to level 100, so it was one of my absolute favorite Pokemon, and I think that this card is so beautiful. And I know this is one of the older ones. This is another card that is probably one of my favorites. This Arcanine. Let's see. It was just also always one of my favorite ones to train. You'll notice that, and I talked about this in my video where I talked about my 3DS games, but the original 150 Pokemon from the Kanto region are definitely my favorite. I think mostly just because it was so nostalgic for me. So, and then I have a few over here that I really like and would like to show. This holographic Machamp I absolutely love. obviously when the cards are holographic, it's very exciting for me. And I love the like rainbow background that this card has. So maybe it'll focus. There we go. Yeah. This was a much older card and just one of my favorites. Also, I want to show this Kangaskhan. I love Kangaskhan. It's just such a motherly Pokemon to me. It seems like such a like protective mother. And I just remember being so excited if I could find one in the Safari Zone. And I just love the cute little baby with its arms up. It's so cute. So yeah, I'll basically just be showing you guys my favorite cards out of the bunch, and you'll see basically all of what I have. So here's another one of my favorites. This is a holographic Nidoking, which is another one of my favorites. I think I like Nidoqueen a little bit more, but I don't think that I have one of the original Nidoqueens. So see if it'll focus. There we go. It's just another very pretty card, and it's one of the ones that I've had for the longest. I'll also show you guys. This is a Zapdos, which I absolutely love. The Zapdos in the Fire Red, if you played those games, and I think it was also the same for Red and Blue and Yellow, but you had to catch Zapdos in the like laboratory that was kind of like off of Cerulean City. And the first time I ever played Fire Red, I didn't, for some reason, I didn't do the trick where you like save your game right before you go to try to catch one of the legendary Pokemon. I just like wasn't aware of that trick yet. I was like playing the game very pure, if that makes sense. And I didn't catch Zapdos, and like the whole game was like my life to me. All of it was like life or death to me at the time. And so when I didn't catch Zapdos and it just disappeared, and I saved my game because I just didn't know. Very bad move, but I cried. I was sobbing for hours because I didn't get to the Zapdos and I saved my game, and my mom was like, you shouldn't play these games anymore. It's too upsetting for you. You take this way too seriously. But she let me keep playing. I just started the game over, so that was the thing that happened. And this is another card that I love. It's a Raichu. So a lot of the times when I think of Zapdos, it gives me kind of triggers that sort of anxiety of when I was really young and I didn't catch it. But then I went back through and I caught all of them, so it's another really pretty card. I love this Raichu. I have a lot of cards right here that I really like, so I'll just show all of them to you and you can skip around if it gets really boring. But this is my Lapras, and I'm mostly just showing this to you because I love Lapras. I never trained a Lapras in the game. I would catch one, but I never trained it for a long period of time. But if I ever go back and replay some of those, which I did do about a year ago, I went back and replayed all of them. well, if I ever go back and play any of the Kanto games, I'll definitely trade a Lapras because I think it's such a great Pokemon. I also love this Misty's Dugong. It was also one of my favorites when I was little. I just loved having the cards where it was belonged to one of the gym leaders or one of the trainers. So there's that one. I apologize if you guys can hear my neighbors. They're being loud as always. And another one that I was really proud of was this Dark Feraligatr. Just because it's it was a card that none of my friends ever had. And I just thought it was really cool. I always liked having cards where it was like a dark version of the Pokemon, so. Moving on. And I have a Sabrina's Gengar right here. And a Sabrina's Alakazam, and that's a holographic one that I'm very, very proud of and I loved when I was younger. And then I also have this Gengar right here. That's holographic that I'm also very, very fond of. There we go. Forgive me if the focusing is a little bit of a struggle because I am still figuring out my camera a little bit at the moment, so. I do love this card and I love Gengar. It's probably my favorite ghost type Pokemon, so. And then I have two right here that I absolutely loved when I was little. This is a Pidgeot. It's one of the original Pidgeots. And I just thought it was such a beautiful card because of the way that the Pidgeot is sort of posing. I don't know, I thought it looked so fierce. Because Pidgeot is a beautiful Pokemon and I just think this is such a beautiful card. And then I also love this Wigglytuff. Just because Wigglytuff to me is just such a quirky Pokemon. It's one of the original, very cutesy, quirky Pokemon, so. And it's funny because when I was younger, when I would play the games, I never wanted to have any of the cutesy Pokemon because I wanted to be I wanted to seem like a tough Pokemon trainer because, you know, most of my friends that liked Pokemon were guys and everything. But now, when I go back and play it, I'm very much more willing to pick Pokemon that I think are cute, if that's just what I want to do. So, you know, I'm more comfortable with myself now, I guess. So then, I have two of these holographic Entei, and I love Entei. I feel like I keep saying I love all these Pokemon. I do love a lot of Pokemon, but I just think that this card is so beautiful. I am obsessed with this card. And a lot of these cards I got, obviously I, bought the packs and everything, but I also traded a lot of these with my cousins, with my sister, and with kids at school. And I feel bad because I feel like, and I do feel guilty about this, but I was very much one of those kids, like, on the school bus who would trade cards with, like, kids who were much younger than me. And, you know, I'd be like, oh yeah, this, like, you know, holographic Entei isn't worth anything. You should trade that to me for your, or I'll give you like a 30 HP Rattata and you'll give me your Entei, and that's a good trade for you. And I feel so bad for like totally conning like some 7-year-olds. But that's okay. Maybe they learned it that way. I also love this Erica's Vileplume. Again, I love Vileplume. I shouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but it's not one of my favorites, but I do love this card, or Vileplume, a lot. And the trainer, Erica, I think she was the grass trainer in Kanto, and I thought she was, when I played the game, I just thought she was so adorable and so beautiful, and I wanted to be like Erica. And she was just one of my favorite trainers. But because I usually had Charizard with me, she was also probably the easiest trainer for me to beat, you know. I would just like go through there and just take like one like flamethrower for each Pokemon. It would be wiped out instantly. I feel like grass is one of those types that tends to be one of the easiest you know, gyms to beat. I also love this Victory Bell. I also loved Sabrina, the trainer Sabrina. I just thought she was so cool and mysterious. So here, we're in the 70 HP here, and you have this Sea King right here, which to me, I feel like Goldeen is such a very like fabulous Pokemon, if that makes sense. It's like such a like feminine Pokemon, and it's so pretty. And then I feel like it's just, you'd think that it would evolve into a much prettier Pokemon, but Sea King is so unfortunate looking to me. I like almost don't even want to let my Sea King evolve. I just want to like press B. See if it'll focus. This is also, and I actually have like 4 Sea King packed right here in this little slot. It's like that for a lot of these cards. If I have the same one, usually you'll probably notice that sometimes I'll put the same ones in a row, but usually I'll just like pack them on top of each other. Then here's an Omastar, and this was always a very frustrating Pokemon for me because you know how when you're in like, I think it's like Mount Moon outside of like Pewter City, you have to pick one of those 2 fossils, and one of them ends up becoming Omastar and the other one ends up becoming Kabutops. And I always picked the one that became Kabutops, and it would always end up being such a struggle. Like Omastar would be something that would, like the one Pokemon and the Pokemon that it evolves from, I think it's like Ammonite, I wouldn't have in my Pokedex, and it would make it like such a pain to complete my Pokedex, because you know, like no one wants to trade, nobody else is gonna like want to trade their Ammonite to me. That's such a rare Pokemon. It's actually kind of sad. Like at one point I played Pokemon, like I kept playing it after everyone else stopped playing it, and it was really uncool to play it. And I remember at one point, because my sister had her like Game Boy SP, and the little thing that you would stick on the back of it and connect to trade, so she would let me use hers, and I would turn on her SP and turn on her game and everything, and I would connect, and I would just be going from either side trying to trade Pokemon from her game to mine. And she let me do it, but because she wasn't playing it anymore, but it was just kind of sad. It was just like one of those like friendless moments where I'm using 2 Game Boys to trade a Pokemon to myself. So yeah. Tentacruel is a very scary Pokemon to me. It's just, it's so angry, and it has all those tentacles. Yeah, I don't know. It just creeps me out in that picture. So, we have Deoxys. I remember when Deoxys was like the big mysterious Pokemon. I just remember everyone being absolutely obsessed with Deoxys, and it didn't really turn into that big of a thing, really. If you were someone who played Pokemon a lot, I think around like 2005 or so, you probably remember Deoxys being like the big craze. But that was also sort of, for me, when Pokemon started to take kind of like a turn for the worse. But like I talked about in my Nintendo 3DS games video, I've learned to appreciate the newer games as well. And I have played, by the way, I have played Pokemon Moon a little bit. I have taken a break because I have so much schoolwork that I have to do that I can't get super into a game right now. But I definitely think that I will do a Pokemon Moon gameplay video. If you guys are interested, definitely comment, let me know, because if a bunch of you guys are interested, I'll do that video for sure. And yeah, okay, this is also one of my absolute favorite cards. This is probably like, this might be like my 3rd favorite card or something that I have. This is a holographic, one of the original holographic Flareons, and I love Flareon, first of all. And I just think this is such a beautiful card. It's such a beautiful Pokemon. It's such a beautiful card. It's such a great Pokemon to battle with, in my opinion. I think that if you look through the stats of Vaporeon, Flareon, and Jolteon, I think, if I remember correctly, I think Flareon has slightly higher stats than the other 2. But as far as the Eevee evolutions, I love Umbreon and Espeon because I loved playing Pokemon Colosseum. And if you've played Pokemon Colosseum, you know that you start out with Umbreon and Espeon. And they're just both such beautiful, like, sophisticated Pokemon, and they're so powerful also, so. So I love this card. It's one of my, like, children. Also love this Rapidash card right here. And there's a Sabrina's Haunter right here, which was also one of my favorite cards when I was younger. This is a Lieutenant Surge's Fearow, which I don't remember Lieutenant Surge having a Fearow. That seems like out of character for him as a trainer, because Fearow is a normal type Pokemon, and you think that he would only have electric type Pokemon, but I'll go with it. I actually bought that at the flea market along with my Charizard, and it's holographic, and it's another one of my favorites. And I also love this Persian, because I always loved Persian when I was younger, because I've always loved cats so much, and it just seemed so like regal and sophisticated. So that is Persian. And I also have over here Butterfree. And by the way, guys, I noticed that this video has gone over 30 minutes. So, and I have so many more cards to make it through. As you can see, I've made it through not that many cards. I didn't realize I would have so much to say about all of this. But, so I think that I'll probably stop in a few minutes, or a couple more pages down. And, if you guys are enjoying this video, I'll do a part 2. I'll make another video showing the rest of my cards. So if you guys enjoy this video, I can probably record that video really soon. So here's Butterfree, and this card really means a lot to me because it's one of the first cards that I ever remember getting. I have like a distinct memory of being like 5 or 6 and getting one of the, $2 packs, or they were $2 back in the day, and opening this up and getting Butterfree, and it was just like, it was so exciting for me because I thought Butterfree was such a beautiful Pokemon, and I thought the card was so beautiful with the flowers and everything, and I'd seen Butterfree in the anime a lot. There's like that whole episode, Bye Bye Butterfree, where Ash lets Butterfree go because she evolves, which makes no sense to me. Ash is like always like letting his Pokemon go for really misplaced moral reasons. Like, how are you going to become a Pokemon master if every time when your Pokemon evolve you decide to like set it free? I'm just saying, you guys, I never understood that about Ash. And then there's the Metapod right next to it, and a Nidorina right there. I also am super proud of this Venomoth Pokemon. It's just such a beautiful card also. I never trained Venomoth in the game. It's one of those Pokemon that I don't really think many people pay a lot of attention to. But it is a beautiful card. Maybe it'll focus. Put that one up. I'm having trouble getting some of the cards back in because I'm kind of at an angle here. And a few of my cards are, I think everyone who plays Pokemon finds themselves with these like Pocket Monsters backgrounds, or back of the cards will look like this sometimes instead. This is I think it's Japanese. I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to call it something it isn't, but yeah. This is another one of those neat cards that were kind of rare. These are just various grass types. It's funny to me that Arbok is a grass type here. I think that Arbok would normally be a poison type, but as everyone knows, Pokemon types don't always make a lot of sense. We have some ground types here. It's one of the original Rhyhorns, and here's a Brock's Rhyhorn. And I have a Dark Machamp, which, as I told you guys before, I was always so proud of like my dark holographic cards, as well as this Primeape up in the corner. I was also very proud of. Oh, and here's one of the original Jigglypuff. Anyone who collected the Pokemon cards in the late 90s or maybe mid 90s, I think they started coming out around 1996. Everyone had one of these Jigglypuffs. Jigglypuff sitting in the tree. And you just have to appreciate Jigglypuff. You don't have to train Jigglypuff, but you have to appreciate her because she's just such a classic Pokemon, and she just loved to mess with people. So I have my Mewtwo here, which is also one of the ones that I'm most proud of, one of my absolute favorite cards that I have. So I think that I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here so that next time, assuming that you guys want to see another one, I'll know to pick up right here where I have my Mewtwo. And I'm just gonna flip back to the front. I also love this dark Tyranitar right here. And Gardevoir was one of my favorite Pokemon in the Hoenn region. And if I mispronounced any of the names of the Pokemon, which I'm just, a lot of the times with these Pokemon, I'll only ever hear myself pronounce it, so I might be wrong, so don't get angry with me. Or do if you want. It's fine. But yeah, so that's the first half of my collection. If you guys want me to, like I said, I will do a part 2, and then I'll do the rest of my cards. A lot of those are going to be lower HP Pokemon, so, you know, if that means anything to you, it might, which to me anymore it doesn't really mean anything, but it'll just probably be some weaker Pokemon and stuff. But I can go off if you guys want on some more tangents about the games or the anime and everything. And yeah, let me know what any of your Pokemon themed requests might be, and I would love to do that. So it's super nostalgic for me. So yeah, I hope that this was relaxing for you guys, and I hope that you sleep well or have a good nap if that's what you're up to. And yeah, thank you for watching, you guys.